We are live! Welcome to the Crafty Boys, where we drink beer and talk about bullshit. So, hey, welcome. Welcome, everybody. I know that there's thousands of you out there watching immediately, and of course, we are going to entertain you to the best of our ability. And halfway through the show, Alan's getting naked. So,
I was just gonna say, Dave, take your clothes off.
The format of the show is that we get naked and talk about beer, and at some point we might drink beer, but it's not entirely sure because one of us is kind of a wuss right now and basically is drinking soda pop. So let's start again with the segment we like to call Dave's a Wimp. Dave, what are you drinking tonight?
Where's this Dave person?
Oh, he's the only other one with hair. Oh no, wait, that's you.
Oh,
burn. So yeah, so
you
Dave,
you got the pop shop.
You are pop shopping
cream
it.
soda.
Now you had a pop shop a little while ago.
Yeah,
but
I
what
did.
was it? Was it
I don't
sarsaparilla
remember
though?
what
Was like
it
they were
was.
sort
I
of
know it was it the root beer or was it the lime Ricky?
I think you had the lime Ricky.
I've done the lime, which I would totally be getting cases of if I was a sugar fiend.
Aromatic? Does it actually smell like cream soda?
Totally. It's a proper radioactive red. Looks a little more radioactive on camera. I don't think it's really giving a proper sense of the color, honestly. But hey, I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with the red. That's not bad.
Excellent.
I've liked all these guys that I've had so far. Decent stuff.
If you're into a soda pop and that's what you want, Pop Shop, if it's available, is the way to go.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think you can go very far wrong.
And if you're our age, like we're talking 25, and you are Canadian, I mean, Pop Shop is takes you right back to your childhood. Right?
Totally. Yeah. Totally. I'm watching A-Team right now.
Nice.
Well, I would say you're watching the A-Team. Nice.
All right.
George Hart is a good actor.
Was, yeah. All right. Hey, Locke, what are you drinking? This is kind of tasty.
Evening, I am drinking something that when I saw this in the shop, I had a few options to play with, and this one was an "Let's Make Alan Jealous" move.
Oh,
this is the Waterloo Salted Caramel.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, enough of that.
Rich creamy caramel and a savory sprinkling of sea salt come together to make this deep brown porter the perfect finish to any hearty holiday feast. Handcrafted with roasted malts for a smooth, balanced brew. It has just got enough sweetness to set you right for the night. It's 6 alcohol per volume, and the closest thing I could come to an ingredients list.
Did you just learn to read?
Well, no.
Or are you like me, where you have to squeeze your eyeballs?
They evidently have not mastered the printing arts, would be closer to the truth, which is to say that it appears that whoever generated the file that they were to send to the printer is anti-aliased, but anyway.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this is not a. So here's what's bizarre is the fidelity that you get on one of these stick-on labels that you get with these mobile canning lines. That's relatively high fidelity compared to this, which is a larger scale operation. This would be a sort of a comparable to Canterbury Brewing on the island, if you know Canterbury.
Mhm.
Right.
You got an idea? Yeah, it's that type of operation, about that age, right? They've got their own canning line, but they don't have a graphic design department. And that is why it looks the way it does. But how does it taste? Well, it tastes of salted caramel.
Does it really? Is he frozen?
Yes.
No, that was his pensive face. I'm thinking
That was pensive. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
No,
Okay.
it tastes that way. And yet there's a little bit more tang on the back end than... See, for something called salted caramel, I would have wanted a really dry finish, and I don't think that's being delivered here.
no.
No.
Really? I would have thought with caramel you'd get something a little juicier.
No. Well, or at least not me, not a salted caramel. A salted caramel, I'd be up for sort of dry, hard finish. Like this is tangy in a way that makes me think that this is caramel, and somebody has poured a glass of red wine into it.
That does not sound wonderful.
It's not terrible. I generally when people pour glasses of red wine at me, I don't mind. But it's not what I'm going for when I want a salted caramel. And that's my problem with this drink, is that for all that it's not bad, and I love the concept, the tangy back end does not leave me thinking of salted caramel. It leaves me thinking of what? Salted caramel followed by rancid wet leaves. No, not rancid wet leaves. What is it followed by?
It would be interesting to compare this to, say, like one of the salted caramel offerings that are available on the West Coast. I believe Steamworks in Vancouver actually produces a salted caramel stout or porter.
Okay, a stout or a porter is naturally a dry beverage. Like you think about your like a proper Guinness is not a tangy beverage. It's a dry beverage.
Right. All right. So what is this one? Are you giving? I can't get a read. Are you giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Would I do it again? No. Okay. No. I again, it's not being delivered properly. Great concept. Love the idea. Well, I keep drinking it. I'm here for the show, so yeah, why not? Like it's not terrible or anything. It's a jolly good time if you're up for a. There's a. I'm a guy that's not already in love with sweets, and if I'm having sweets, I'd rather they were savory. And here they say savory on the tin. They say that word, do they not? Yeah, they say savory.
Oh,
and they just don't deliver it. Is the honest truth of this product? It's a great concept, but yeah, mediocre delivery.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm a little lukewarm on that one. So, Alan, what are you drinking, sir?
All right, so this is what I've got here. It is from Persephone Brewing in Gibsons, BC. It is their Nitro Stout. Now, we have always been fans of Guinness, going way back. And as you guys know, they have the nitro can where you pop the top, and then you can hear the. And when it pours like a draft Guinness with like the thick, creamy head and all that. I'm wondering if this is going to give me the same thing from a small batch brewery here in BC. So we're going to open this up, and hopefully it's not going to explode on me. That's interesting. I didn't feel that popping noise that you would get with a Guinness can, but let's pour it and see what happens.
That seems really flat.
Well, let's let the head.
Oh my god, we're getting rated!
So there's a bit of a head.
At all. I can clearly see it. It's there.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's not like a Guinness head.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Give it a
What is it? What's it smell like? What kind of tones are you getting there?
Is it properly a nitro beverage?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it says on it right there, nitro. But
Nitro.
there is. If that wasn't on there, I wouldn't have known.
Oh, really? That's brutal. Brutal.
Now, because when you open up a nitro can, you get that distinct sort of like, you're piercing the nitro that goes into the beer at the time. What's the ABV? That is 4.5%. I didn't get that with this can. There was no piercing. There was no sort of like odd kind of
You
gas
didn't get the
sound.
explosion.
There was no gassy
That
kind of
satisfying.
So,
You got the hiss of the.
Okay, back up. More to the point. When you sipped your beverage, did it have the telltale crispness of carbonation?
No.
So it is a smooth beverage.
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but let's see.
All right, let's get in there. Dig in there.
Yeah, it's dry, really dry, smooth. That head, it's not. There isn't much there, but it's creamy.
That's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
So this is what I'm gonna say. This is a Guinness on steroids, as far as flavor goes.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Some fighting words there.
So much more mouthfeel. So much more flavor, and it sticks. It sticks with you.
So of the, how would you describe the Guinness flavor? If you were to describe it.
Oh. It's
Liquid bread.
kind of like dry molasses, maybe.
So what you're saying is a dark, sort of grainy flavor, malty, but not sweet.
That's right. That's right.
It's not knocking it out of the park.
Kind of like spent grains. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Now I've had other nitro stuff. I wish this one had a little bit more of the whole nitro thing going on here. But there is another one from Mill Street Brewing. Is their cobblestone?
That's the one I was thinking of, because we had that a while ago, and that actually I still remember.
That one I really enjoy. That one. That one gives you that nitro feeling. But they're not really like a small craft brewery anymore. I believe they're owned by InBev or something.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that got bought up.
Mill Street. Yeah. But anyway, that is a really good beer. If you want to get something that's Canadian, go with that. If you're in BC, give this one from Persephone a try. Really great taste. Great mouthfeel. I wish the alcohol content was a little bit more, and I wish there was more of that sort of nitro presence. But other than that, I like it.
Okay, well, we basically had a couple of good ones. Well, would you call that one good? Like you like it, and that would you send it home to your mom?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I like it. I've had better, but I think the Mill Street one's better.
Okay.
But I think this beats Guinness.
All right. So the one I'm drinking tonight is a peach cream ale. It is out of Tin Whistle, which is, I believe, in Toronto. And we're going to use the Bally Penis to open it up.
I believe Tin Whistle, Shane, is in
I always associate that with Toronto, but I couldn't
Penticton. I think it's in Penticton.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think Penticton is some distance from Toronto. I was wondering why I'd never heard of Tin Whistle. That would be why.
Is Tin Whistle in Penticton? Wow, I had no idea. But you know what? They make beer, so... Hey, Peanut Gallery, here you go.
There you go.
Snap, hello. This is a cream ale, which of course we all know is an ale, and it of course has 5% alcohol by volume. A tin whistle. Hey, Peanut Gallery. Here. There you go. All right, so right away, this thing has been sitting a little ways away from my face, and it already smells like a peach explosion. Very, very strong. Very, very strong nasal experience. It tastes like a peach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's actually...
just like a peach?
Oh, God's beaming out.
When you
Essentially,
say,
yeah, no.
are we talking about like an optimal peach, like a ripe summer peach, or are we talking about like one of those mealy sort of, like somehow you managed to take it home, set it in the basket, and then it just turned into something that tasted like mush?
It tastes like a peach that is just about ripe. Like just about there, you know? Like it's just on the cusp of the sweetness is not there yet. Like it tastes like a peach. It tastes all right.
A little bit green.
A little bit green, yeah. So, but overall,
Side effects for sure. Okay.
I give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry that I didn't realize I thought, Steam Whistle. That's who I was thinking of. Sorry. That's exactly, I've got them mixed up there. Yes, so Tin Whistle Brewing is indeed in Penticton, British Columbia. I give this a thumbs up. This one I would buy again, but it's not very wintry. I don't know why this is out right now. Maybe it's left over from the summer. But it was on the shelf. It was available. I give it a whirl. But I have to admit, I had a dream the other night about beer that tasted like candy canes, and I don't know why. So maybe I could make some candy cane beer.
You could. Maybe there'll be something like that in our semi-advent calendar that Shane will be doing again this year.
That is right. So, Locke, you have to hear this. This is a horrible, horrible experience that Al and I have been having lately.
Okay.
We've been trying to figure out what advent calendar to have, and the one we had last year is back, and it's pretty much the same as last year. So we're kind of like lukewarm on whether or not we really want to do it. I don't know
that this year's is the same as last year's. Just last year sucked.
Well, okay.
Not to put too fine a point on it. It sucked.
No, I agree. So
postulate that this year's will be a reflection of last year's sucking one. What is Tell me about
the one we had the year before.
Tell me about the alternative.
Okay, so what we're going to do instead, we always do the one from Parallel 49. Phillips puts out their space case, which is kind of like the same deal, only instead of having 24 beers in it, it has 12. So it's kind of like a half advent. So we're deciding to go with that one this year because apparently the space case last year beat the Parallel 49 one like out of the water last year. So we're going with the Phillips one, and
Because it had better beer, right?
I think it had. I think what it had is if you get an advent calendar, I expect there to be a certain amount of wintry style beers in it with different adjuncts and stuff like that put in it for like Christmassy kind of.
So what you're saying is like is that like like a wit or a light lager is probably not a winter beer.
Exactly.
Is that
Exactly.
the idea?
Yeah. So I would
Okay,
like,
so
and
I-
I'm okay. I'm okay getting a couple of those things.
I get the concept. Yeah.
Right. So, but last year we got a steady diet of lagers, pilsners, and wits. There was not a single stout. There was not a single porter. There was not a single Schwarzbier. Nothing in the pack that screamed winter or Christmas, aside from their regular offering of Mr. Needles, which is a pine-based pale ale that they put out every year. And you're expecting it, and that's
What I'm saying is that if we were curling up next to a fire that had just died and it was freezing bloody cold out, like the winter of whatever the winter it was when it snowed a lot, and you were in there cuddling up and somebody cracked you an ice cold light lager, that wouldn't really cut it, would it?
No.
Not the experience that you were looking for.
no. But here's my hope.
Freezing cold and thrashing through the snow, trying to make your way from lost in an avalanche because you
That's
were
right.
skiing.
And you don't
get
throw me a peach flavored pilsner.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I
You know?
concept.
I want a
Good.
barrel aged
I like
ice
that.
bomb.
Yeah. Continue, sir. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the Phillips one is going to be more quality over quantity. Yes, we'll only have 12 beers. It's not a full Advent. We'll only be able to publish like every other day or maybe for just 2 weeks at the, before Christmas or something. I don't know. But that's what we're going to try. And this is the 20th anniversary of Phillips Brewery being around. So maybe, just maybe, there might be something special in here to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Phillips Brewing.
So you're thinking they held some of that stuff back?
Well, maybe. I don't know. So, okay, because Phillips released earlier this year their 20-point buck, which is a special 20th anniversary beer that they made. It's a blue buck pale ale that would have been barrel aged for 20 months. And it came in one can with a glass, and apparently it's sold out within like a couple of hours of it hitting store shelves. Like it was gone. Like I never got even a whiff of it. Maybe there's one in here. I mean, that's a stretch, but maybe.
Well, I will hope.
I doubt it. I doubt
I'm not
it.
going to have high hope, but I'm okay with keeping a little positivity going on for keeping the light on, as it were.
I think we have a better chance of finding a roll of 50s inside that box than that beer. And we're not going to find a roll of 50s. We have a better chance of finding Jimmy Hoffa in one of these boxes.
So out here in the wilds of Ontario, one of the things that's been going on. Now, you saw how totally badass last episode's.
Totally. Totes McGroats.
Yeah. So what Collective Arts have done is they've done a boxed set with an Imperial Stout. By Imperial, it's great the way everybody throws the word Imperial around. Like the word Imperial is just interchange. A Baltic Imperial would be a different empire than, say, an Imperial IPA. That would be a different empire. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But whatever. In any event, there's a thing with Imperial Stouts going on this season in Ontario, and it seems like all the breweries are doing one, and they're all doing a commemorative glass. So the commemorative glass is there are now a bunch of other commemorative glasses fighting for competition with that commemorative glass. That, of course, was the first commemorative glass to hit the shelves, and evidently it's got some history to it. But yeah, everybody's doing a commemorative glass right now.
See, that's a trend that does not hit out here is commemorative glasses. I want commemorative glasses, damn it. I got no room in my cupboards for commemorative glasses, but damn it, I want a commemorative glass.
It's a fair point.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw
this commemorative. This is
glass.
actually a commemorative glass. It used to say Granville Island Brewing on it. It doesn't anymore.
From the commemorative glasses is the companies that commemorate the glasses. Latex paint, which does eventually wear off.
Well, that's how it rolls, man. I mean,
you can't even see the outline where the logo used to be. Oh no, you can. There it is, right there. You can't see it, but I can.
I think the only glasses that I have that I've collected they're etched into the glass, like the logos are etched in rather than.
That's some very serious commemoration.
Of course, it's always a good idea to support your local brewery.
Capital Q.
That's how we roll, man. So
actually, all of my glasses are commemorative. They say Mason jar on them.
Yeah, I do that too. Hey, Peanut Gallery, you had a story that you thought was interesting. What was the story? You can't see me. Oh, you sent it to me. Where? In my chat. Oh, of course. I closed that window. One moment, please, while I look up.
Please stand by. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Okay, so the Peanut Gallery was very, very happy this afternoon because she found an article where archaeologists in Mexico found fermentation jars that they, I gather, originally believed, going to throw this into our private chat there, where they believed it to be like funeral urns. But now, they originally, experts originally thought the jugs were funerary urns, but 12 years of restoration and testing have shown they were actually meant for beer. These artifacts are 2,000 years old. Circular pyramids in Mexico was where they were located, blah, 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 blah. But basically, it would be very cool if, again, we have another situation where beer could be replicated from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Good idea, bad idea.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years ago, obviously good idea. Good idea.
Very good idea.
That's what I thought.
Until the beer starts running amok in Los Angeles and in an orgy of destruction like the Lost World. I've got Jurassic Park playing in my head right now. It's like they find the beer particles in a mosquito trapped in amber. From
I kind of went in a beer from Planet Nine direction there myself.
okay,
but,
all right.
You know, there's something, if there's anything that troubles me about any of this, it's the possibility of ever knowing all of the brews that have gone on through civilization and having some reasonable approximation of the idea of the taste profile within a range of possibilities, and being able to kind of predict on the basis of chemical evidence what they were drinking when and what.
I'm not going to say.
I'm not surprised. I like the surprise. I want to be surprised. I don't want it to all be predictable. Just because you've got evidence that they were drinking something that was fermented with grapes and it was fermented with barley, it was smoked and then they pissed on it or whatever it was they did back then. I want to know that. More to the point, I want other people to know that just because they have the chemical composition doesn't mean that they have it all in the right order. And it doesn't mean that it mightn't have been fermenting and waiting for a later stage, at which point it tastes totally different. You know what I mean? Like, the possibilities of brewing and of craft brewing and of the craft of brewing hold out the opportunity that just because it's made of barley, that's actually all they listed on the fucking can, which was what I was boggling at before, is that the only thing it lists on the can is barley.
Just because they can't, they
might
could, doesn't mean that they should.
That might be because they're incompetent at printing tins, and that really might be the case. But it might also be because there's so many flavors that you can get out of such a simple ingredient.
True.
That's,
I mean, when you think of it, it's just beer. But then you turn around and you realize that, well, as you said, the ingredients are fairly similar. They've only changed a few things here or there. So
it's not just
package
it is
it,
kind of
put it on a lunchbox.
Made out of it. How did you make it?
Yeah.
And sadly, I think I find it implausible, if I'm actually going to be honest with you, sitting here drinking this now, that the problem here is that the sophistication of the brew is not reflected on the writing on the tin. I think it's just that the writing on the tin is incompetent to include the very likely
We sound very depressed about all this. Oh, beer is going to hell.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that beer, whatever it is, probably tastes like crap.
Well, it's just that it's too sweet, and that for something advertising as salted caramel, having that tangy back end just makes it sort of taste like you've had one.
I mean the 500-year-old.
And now you're tasting what it tastes like if you barfed one up.
I'm talking about the 500-year-old beer.
500-year-old beer. I'm sure it's delicious.
No, I think it probably tastes like crap if they brew it.
No, it wouldn't taste like crap. Crap is fresh. What that would taste like is dirt.
All right, fair enough. Hey, did you guys see the final trailer for Ghostbusters came out this week? Did you guys see it?
Oh no! What does it mean? What is it telling us? Does it mean that they've found a way to make it good?
Well, we don't know if it's good or not. We have to go see it.
Let it be good.
I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be Stranger Ghosts.
Well, I mean,
Well-
it does have one of the actors in it from Stranger Things, but my guess is basically
If that's what it was, solid hands down applaud from me, which is to say that at least they didn't turn it into some 90s schlock fest.
Well, I don't know, because here's the thing. From what I can guess from the few trailers we've had since like 2019, because this was actually filmed a while ago. This is not a new thing. Is that I think Alan, you probably guessed this much, is that Egon moved to the middle of nowhere, some small town farmland, because he realized that Gozer, the Gozerians' followers, had actually built an underground temple to Gozer from the same villain from the first film. And then he subsequently died and left his house to his kids or whatever. So, which means at some point he had a daughter with somebody. My assumption is that it was Janice. Janice? Is that what's the receptionist's name? Oh my lord. Oh, come on.
It was
Are
Annie
we
Potts.
Are we so
Annie Potts.
old? Annie Potts. Yeah, whatever her character's name was. Anyway, the point is, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about what I've seen so far. That we have a film that technically is the third film, ignoring the previous one. The previous one didn't exist. That's its own universe. So, what do you guys... Basically, the villain's the same villain. I mean, the villain in the second film was actually kind of cool. We had, like, a completely different experience. We had a completely different villain that was so not it, Alan?
The one thing I think we're going to see in this movie, and I don't know if I want to see it or not, is a ghost of Egon. An Egon ghost.
Oh,
I hope not. I think that would be distasteful.
oh
Do you?
no! Don't do that.
I don't think it would be. It depends on how it's done. But I don't think it would
this
be.
is what I mean. Like, if left to Hollywood,
Yeah, but of
they
course,
would do it
of course they would.
badly.
Of course they would. Of course
Left
they
to people that knew the actor, knew the director, knew him as a human being, maybe they would be able to temper okay, yeah, that's a great way to honor him, blah blah blah, but we can't do these 10 things because that's just tropey and stupid. I don't know. I'm excited, and I initially was excited when I saw the first trailer, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. But now I'm a bit more.
It would be really difficult for it to be worse than
the
reboot.
one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, you're right. Like,
The problem was, everybody calls it the all-female one. The problem wasn't that it was all-female.
No, not at all.
The problem was that it was a reboot.
well, it was also a really terrible script.
Because it's sucking the life out of something that people love and coming up with something mediocre and
Yeah,
pretending
because
that's the same thing and that they should value it the same. God, fuck off.
yeah, well, exactly, because we had 2 movies, but then growing up, you had these cartoons in the late '80s that
Which I never watched.
I watched them a bit just because I had a younger sister who liked to watch cartoons, and I wasn't going to fight it. But ultimately, you had all of this character building and all these kinds of things going on in that sort of universe, and then, and then that ended sometime in the early '90s, like a lot of cartoons from the '80s, and then it was forgotten about. Our age group grew up with it; we loved it, and then they did that whole attempt at a reboot, which was just a terrible script. But I mean, the problem is they
I
tried to
don't think
take
properly-
that
I don't-
contemporary
I don't
comedy
think
style
that
and
you properly addressed Ghostbusters 2. What was Ghostbusters 2?
it was
A cash grab.
yeah.
Sure, it was. Yeah. But what is a thoroughly cynical? What it was a curtain call.
True.
Like they reprised the same roles in a nominal way, and then celebrated the fact that there they were. Yep, triumphant again. It was a fucking curtain call.
Okay,
I would agree.
I can go with that. Now, if they get like Rick Moranis and Sigourney Weaver to somehow be in this movie, like all the original cast, aside from,
You know what? I think that's evidence that this was a proper ensemble piece, and that they all fucking loved working together. That it was. This was.
well, I don't know. I mean, Bill Murray, I think, can be a little bit.
Yeah, but that's Bill Murray. That's his character. That's not even his character. It's not even his persona. It's
Him.
Yeah, it's pretty much like if you left him in a room with himself, he'd pick a fight.
Well, put it this way. I'm just looking up the cast list of this film, and it has the 3 new characters listed first, followed by Sigourney Weaver, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson, and Annie Potts. So,
But not Rick Moranis.
That would be a challenge to get Rick Moranis to be in this film.
Would
since
it?
I gather.
Would it?
Well, he gave up Hollywood because
No, he didn't give up Hollywood. He's actually gone on record very recently saying he didn't retire. He quit the business for a while so they could raise his kids after his wife died.
This is exactly what you do after telling everybody that you fucking quit.
But he said he never actually retired from it, and his kids are older now, and he's available.
Well, he's available. He is available. Well, it's like what's that Ryan Reynolds?
Look. Here's the thing: you quit Hollywood because it was a pain in the ass, and you had enough money, and you were focused on your family. You quit Hollywood, and then you decide you're going back into Hollywood. You say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to quit," or do you say, "What are you talking about? I never quit." You say, "I don't. What are you talking about? What the fuck?" And some fucking asshole said I quit. That's how you fucking do it.
Well, he has returned somewhat here and there. I mean, the last time I heard about Rick Moranis being in the news is he got sucker punched on a New York sidewalk.
Right.
He was just walking by and some guy walked by him and then just suddenly turned and punched him in the head.
Well, you know what? We all want to do that sometimes.
I just looked him up. Yeah, so last October 1st, so 2020, he was walking along West 70th Street in Manhattan, and a guy just punched him in the head, and he and then ran. Was eventually arrested, I gather. So who knows what happened after that?
But I think it was because he felt concerned for the kids that he shrunk.
He was very concerned. He's actually, by the way, there's a sequel to those films called Shrunk that comes out next year that he's in.
Oh, really?
So, oh yeah.
Oh no! Fuck yeah!
The film is called, surprise, Shrunk.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's apparently his return to the big screen after 24 years in the of not doing anything.
Yeah.
Although I will point out that I have subscribed to his music channel. You would be happy to know Rick Moranis does country music, and he's got like 3 or 4 albums over the last 20 years. Yeah. So
Mm.
They are highly amusing. It's sort of like if you listen to it, you're like, this is actually a comedy album disguised very cleverly as a a country western.
It would be
thing.
awesome. It would be awesome if he would do one of those albums to get Dave Thomas to go on there with him.
Didn't they do that for was it the 40th anniversary of not SNL of
CTV.
SCTV? Like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. Do you remember that? It was a thing. I remember watching it. But anyway, at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that Ghostbusters might suck.
It might not. Go into it with a
It
positive
looks
attitude.
good. It was directed by the original director's son. So
It's got most of the original
There's
cast.
a substantial thing in its disfavor, and that's that the period that we live in suffers from certain amounts of sucking, and I would suggest that at least some of those amounts of sucking have been temporarily shielded away by Gen Z.
really,
Yeah.
Hmm?
Because Gen Z fucking love the 80s.
Ah.
And they're not joking about their retro. When you talk to a Gen Zer about their retro, they're serious about the retro.
I can't get
They
behind
want
calling
it to
the
be
80s
they
retro.
want it to be authentic, and they're not up for, yeah, we just cribbed all of the content lines from Ghostbusters and came up with new content on the basis of those lines. No fucking algorithms don't fool Gen Zers the same way that perfume doesn't fool dogs. Like, they get it. They see what it is. They're not buying it. So if you're going to get through to them, and they are the new standard, they are the new wall that you have to meet.
Yeah, that is a weird concept, though,
But-
of 80s being retro.
Yeah.
Like,
But you know what, Locke, what you say about, new stuff, like the time we're in right now has a certain amount of sucking involved in it. I mean, look at all the Disney era Star Wars films. I can only really name one that was really any good, which was Rogue One.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The newer Indiana Jones film, the one from like 10 years, or actually, I guess close to 20 years ago now, sucked.
The one with the aliens.
Yeah, it sucked. Anything that's new that they make that's based on stuff that we watched in the late 70s and 80s sucks. Like, sucks. Like, why? Shane, go tell us why.
why does everything outside of the 80s suck?
Do movies that come out now suck?
Like, here's my suggestion: is that the two largest generations in all of human history, demographically, are the millennials and the baby boomers. We're sandwiched in between them. We're the baby bust. We're the generation that wasn't. That's
But
why
exactly.
That's
I
why we're talking to ourselves instead of the universe.
well,
Because
I
nobody
did. I
else
did.
Fucking our age, interested in the same shit that we grew up with, because they didn't grow up with it, because there was nobody around then, at least not growing up. And now we have this other monstrosity, the millennials on the other side of us, who evidently are so in hatred with the baby boomers that they're going to recreate all of the worst crimes that the baby boomers committed against their parents. You think about, baby boomers running around calling the generation that fought, defeated, bled, died, and ultimately won against the actual historical Nazis. For their kids to be going around calling them Nazis, God, that's fucking rude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then you stop and you think about the same generation that marched in the civil rights marches in the States to fight the separate but equal idea. The millennials want nothing more than to call every last one of those marchers racists. Fuck's sake, right?
Every generation thinks that they're the first
None of
ones
it
to
matters
do
to me because at the end of the day, I'm a Gen Xer, and I don't get a voice. I'm acclimatized to the fact that there is no future.
Well,
Wow, you
it's
sound like a
it's
Sex
like
Pistols
we are.
song.
It's
Well-
like there's the baby boomers on one end who are, doing that to the younger generations, and then you have on the other end the millennials doing that to the older generations, and then we're just sitting there with like a bowl of popcorn.
While we play Pac-Man and watch
While we-
18.
Oh, look,
Exactly.
don't mistake me for a friend. But I think there is something to we live in the no future that the Sex Pistols garnered in. And we are part of the no future that ultimately sees past what has become a fucking predictable cycle of retro culture that just grinds away and does something automatic without anybody really adding very much to it. No?
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you said it.
You said it, man.
You said
We're the
well. Actually,
We're the
to
savages.
sum this up, to sum up what you're saying there, Locke. The other day I was logging in. I logged into my my Reddit account. I hadn't logged in for a while, so I had to like go and find what my password was. And then like two scrolls later, I see a picture of Tommy Chong smoking weed, and he and his use. And so I was like, oh, that's actually Tommy Chong. He took a photo of himself, and then I noticed what his username was, which is too stoned to remember my password or something like that. And I made it made my day. So
Yeah. No. Tommy Chong, incidentally, is another graduate of Western Canada High School. Same place I graduated from. I used to walk past Tommy Chong's old high school picture on the, like the roll call lineup in black and white. I used to walk past that every day.
So is he celebrated at the school? Like, yeah?
We used to. I think that was unofficial back in those times. God knows. Now that weed's legal, they probably have bacons in the fucking front yard, and everybody just kind of does it. You know,
Right.
that would be kind of awesome.
like the same high school that I went to, that Tommy Chong went to, it would have had the same feature that it had when I went there, and that in the last year that I was there, they decided to renovate / remove, which was the rifle range underground, where they used to prepare the kids for going over for the First World War.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, interesting.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Well,
All right,
feel
I'm
like
out of
it, but,
beer.
yeah, me too. All right. we will see you all next week when we play the game of Where'd the Beer Go?
How much did I enjoy this beer this evening?
You've got some
I
left.
usually show up with 3 tins. I am one and a half through. It tells you how fucking wonderful that was.
What is the world coming to?
Oh,
Like it's.
oh my
it's
god!
not
It wasn't as good as it claimed to be.
Right.
Let's just say that.
Well, it all just means that basically you're just going to have to come back next week to find out what we talk about, because you'll always know that coming very soon to Canada,
Alan, correct me if I'm wrong.
Crafty Land approved by Greta. So
Yeah.
don't forget, we will be opening Crafty Land.
Alan, don't
Yeah.
forget, next week, you and I are going to do the Nanawa War.
Okay. If you can find it.
Oh, no. I can find it. Can you
Okay.
find it?
Oh, I can find it.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, we're on.
It's on like Donkey Kong while we're watching our A team.
On that note,
Yeah.
Alan, as always, please take us out.